Yep, it's snowing. YouTube, Mike Wogman, Mike Lamb, Mushroom Rangers. I'm just upgrading my humidification system. I've noticed when you build one of these with this lid, one of these lids, and one of these totes, what happens is, since this is pliable and it can bend, what happens is when you put the pipe on one side and the fan on the other side, either or, doesn't matter, what happens is it sort of buckles and creates like a depression. And then what it does is it doesn't allow it to seal, or there's a little bit of gappage around certain parts of this, and it sort of lets all that fog out. And I noticed that I was having a couple wet spots around my humidification system, and I didn't like that because I can't have standing water or water leaking out or whatever. So I went out and bought a sheet of this pre-sanded, I think 15th 30 seconds or something like that inch. It doesn't matter what inch, as long as it's like at least close to a half an inch or over. I mean, an inch would be great because it would have that weight. So I just replicated the lid. I traced it, cut the holes, and then I had some leftover paint, dry lock from well, dry lock, but watertight, from when I was building my flow hood. So this is going to be the downside, the side that goes down, and that's where all the humidity and whatever will be hitting the top of this. So I wanted to treat it with something that's waterproof or watertight, so that it wouldn't grow mold or anything like that. So once it's cured, what I'm going to do is get another roll of this stuff. Ribbed for your humidification system. So I'm going to get another roll. I'll put another roll down here. And it has these little raised bumps. So once this cures, I'm going to run another roll just like I did for this one. So then when I put it down, the grooves will interlock, which will give it a tight, watertight seal, so that I don't have mist or any kind of water leaking out. So it'll be completely watertight. I might even go one step further and put like maybe a couple clamps on each side. We'll see how well it seals. So if you're building one of these, you're going to have to take into account for water leaking out around these sides, because again, these things aren't watertight. They're not anything tight. They're just a tote. So if you're going to build one of these, I recommend, for now, until I get the data, that you go ahead and put something sturdy and heavy on top. That way it creates a seal. And I think it's going to work pretty good from what I've just seen from it being unpainted and just putting it on there. And I'm putting a little bit of pressure. It seals around. But again, I'm going to put another strip of this stuff on the top of this, so it'll bite down on itself. These things work really great. The only problem with using this in my system is I don't have a humidistat or a humidity controller, so it blows humidity all the time. So it's pegged out at 99%. It's probably a little bit over, because I know that it forms condensation in the bags, on the racking, and then it drips. I don't want standing water, and I don't need standing water in the bags, because I'll get bacterial blotch and contamination, stuff like that. So I ordered an Inkbird humidity controller, and it should be coming soon. So I'm going to hook just the ultrasonic humidifier up to that. From the research I've done, you don't want to hook any fans up to it because it'll be switching on and off, on and off, on and off. So I'm going to combine my last humidification system where I just had the 4-inch fan blowing across the top of the water, pushing the humidity up and out. And then with that Inkbird, once it drops below a certain percentage of humidity, it'll kick that ultrasonic humidifier back on, which will pump in more humidity, and it'll keep it at a constant, 95 to 97 range sort of stuff. So again, if you're going to build one of these, you can still build it the other way. If you have a place that you don't mind water dripping on the floor or stuff like that, I just don't want standing water everywhere, or the chance that water collects anywhere, or the fog bleeds out. It might bleed out and go into a receptacle or something and short it out. Yeah, I don't want any of that. So I'm trying to make it to where it's watertight, airtight, and the only way that the humidity or mist comes out is through the exit port. So again, these are little things you have to do. You have to test it out, try it out, figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then improvise, adapt, and overcome. Keep it real, keep it fun, guy, and blessed be.